undertone. You got to understand, Jesus is coming along the seashore, and there's such a crowd with him and pressing up against him. And he finds himself overwhelmed. See, there's something about Jesus when he began to move in his ministry, when it was going to its optimum level. All of a sudden, the crowds began to follow him. You know why? Because signs and wonders was within him. Yeah. And it began to draw the liking of people from all diverse. There were people coming from everywhere. So Christ finds himself needing to give a word to these people, but being pressed by. You know, if I got in a crowd and I said, well, look, I want to say something to y'all, but I need you to what? Back up off me so you can hear me. Yeah. So Christ finds himself in a situation where he says, there's so many of them, I need a pulpit. I need to find somewhere where I can get up and deliver this word. So he looks over and he sees these two boats. He sees two boats that are empty. Empty, and he sees these men that are now walking away and they have just finished cleaning their nets. So he finds himself and he says, he climbs up into one of the boats in one of the dings, y'all. He got into a ding this time. He gets into the ding and he says to Simon Peter, he says, push me out. And Simon obeys and pushes him out into the water. He gets out onto the water, and good God of Zion, he was in his element now. Now he began to preach. He began to preach the gospel. He began now to feed the lost. He finds himself fulfilling his assignment. And now he begins to speak to Simon. Look at what he says to Simon. I just want you to hear this again. He says, Simon, oh Simon, listen, he says, go out where it is deeper. And let down your nets. He's really saying, launch out into the deep. Go further than where you've ever gone before. Anybody remember Star Trek? You remember Star Trek? Oh, thank you, Mama. I don't feel bad now. Thank you so much. That's a witness in the house. You know, Star Trek, the part of that was to go where no other man has been before. Whoa, God. Launching out into the deep is now going further than you've ever been before. You're being pressed and you're being challenged. He says to Simon, go out further. Now I began to look throughout the scriptures to see where we see the word launch recorded, and I find it several times, but when I look here out of this translation, we began to see the Lord tells him, launch out into the deep. I'm saying to Open Door this morning, launch out into the deep. I'm telling you this morning, go a little further. See? What are you saying? What are you saying? I'm going back to point one now. Fishing. Where have we been fishing? In my mind, I thought I'd get out on a little calm water. See, most of us, when we are being asked to do something, we want the elements to be conducive for us. Right. Oh, come on. If you're going to ask me to do something, make sure it fits my desire. Oh, help me, Holy Spirit. When you began to give me directives, take me in mind. Because I want to be comfortable in whatever you are requesting me to do. So if I said, look, church, get up and just run around. Don't stop running. Well, is the air on?
Yes, Lord.
I want to make sure that if I'm going to run, I want to be cool while I run. Because when I sit down, I don't want to be all sweaty. So if you're going to ask me to do something, make sure the elements and the conditions are right.
All right.
But look at what Christ began begins to say to Simon, he tells him, launch out into the deep. Simon responds in such a way, he says to him, you know, I've been toiling all night long. I've been doing this. See, I'm now considering myself. I'm considering the fact that I've spent a whole lot of time doing this already. And matter of fact, who told you you could get in my boat and get it out, take it out on the water? Did you know I'm the owner of that boat? That boat belongs to me. See, there's something about us when we begin to hear a command that comes even from the Lord. We began all of a sudden to wonder, have you recognized what I've already been doing? Did you know I've already been praying and fasting? Did you know I've already been reading your word? This time he's saying, stop your routine. I want you to do something a little different. He says to Simon, Simon, launch out into the deep. And this time, I want you to cast your net on the other side.
On the other side.
But I've been toiling all night long. And I'm a professional fisherman. So why are you telling me to do something different? And I've already been doing, don't you know, if I thought that would work, I would have done it.
Right.
Oh, y'all know how we do. See, we don't say this stuff to people, but good God, our imagination. Our imagination and our thoughts begin to now war with God in such a way. See, the word I gave you in Corinthians, that our warfare is not carnal. See, there's a spiritual warfare that begins to take place where you now resist God because of what you say you've already done. There's something about these human folk. Human folk are forever carrying an account of their own deeds. We forever got an account. I did this and I did that. Just let somebody ask me and I'll let them know. Simon wanted the master to know, I've been toiling all night long.
Amen.
All night, meaning I done put my time in. See, there's something about y'all in me, that when we've done with all that we can do, especially if we shed a couple tears, I've done all that you do. And the Lord, you're saying the more, he says to Simon, the more. Where was Simon fishing? He now finds himself fishing in shallow water. Current surroundings, no depth, going to the same places, experiencing the same thing. That's why your relationships look the same way. That's why your marriage, your children, your finances, everything's look the same way, because you keep doing the same thing, thinking there should be what? New results. But I want to say to you this morning, Christ come to tell us, let's go fishing.
Let's go.
And I found out when I was fishing that all of a sudden I was now being led in a different path. I just thought when I threw the fishing rod out, I'd get a chance to relax until he come on the hook. See, there's something about I'll be ready because I've prepared myself for this experience. Oh God, I'm glad I got fishermen here this morning. So I'm sitting there, and they said, no, don't move. Hold on to it, because I'm like, ain't nothing happening. See, it's something, you're sitting there, they take it from out of the holder, and they put it in your hand, and they just say, hold it. And you're sitting there like, my goodness gracious, what in the world? Because see, I'm going on my imagination, the way that this should work out. So I'm fighting and resisting everything that's happening with a smile. Ooh, we fishing here. We fishing, get my picture. See, there's something about what we do on the outside that don't agree with the inside. We will say, take a picture of me right now. I'm fishing. And the truth of the matter, I can't stand the process. God, I can't stand what you're putting me through. Or what you're asking because see, I want everybody to think I'm really fishing.
My God.
But here we see this morning, God is challenging the professional. He now begins to say to him, he says, no, launch out into the deep. You've been hanging too close to the seashore. You've been going all the same places and expecting new results. So when you've been doing this, you've been doing it all night. You've been doing it all through your process. You've been working hard at it. You've been doing the usual thing. See, I want you to take an account of yourself as a fisherman. How you've been fishing. How you've been processing your life since God has called you to fishing. Or have you found yourself just going through the routine? The routine. Somebody said, well, keep praying for me. God's going to give me a breakthrough. Well, I'm going to trust him with you. Y'all know all the rhetoric we do. In our heart, we're saying, I can't stand the process. What? He finds Simon Peter cleaning the nets. You know what that was? I'm finished. Woo! Anybody made some good old fried chicken? Shabba. Got a witness? And some collard greens.
All right now. All right.
And then you said, wait a minute, give me a stick of butter for these sweet potatoes right here.
Right now.
And I think we're going to have some good old lemonade with this. Give me the sugar. I need the jar sugar. See? Oh, yeah, I came around the time. It was a jar sugar. And you shook the jar in there with no measuring cup.
No measuring cup.
Just kept pouring till you think it's right. I'm going according to my imagination. And I believe the way that I'm doing this is right. But there's something about after you've done all that, there's a cleaning up time. And the hardest thing sometimes is after you've done all that cooking, and you got to now go and clean it up because you're saying, I am finished. It's something about when you've cooked a good meal, you go around and say, how was those greens? Oh, they were all right. How you like that chicken? It was a little salty.
Amen.
How was that lemonade? It wasn't sweet enough. Oh, I know y'all like them yams. It wasn't enough butter. But the meal was all right. See, if you look, if there's some real folk around you, they'll tell you about your cooking. You need to go see Mother Jackson. She can tell you how to fry some chicken. You doing all right, but you ain't seen nothing yet. You get a little offended in your heart because I've been cooking chicken for years and people say they like my chicken. But all of a sudden, these folks I invited over now, they're talking about chicken was salty. They just don't know good chicken when they taste it. That's what happens when you now cooked a meal and you get these kind of reports. You say, I'm just going to clean all this stuff up. Because I done the best I could. I thought I would have got better results. There's something about when we don't get the results that we should get or what we imagine should be. So this is what Simon was saying when he says, look, I told all night long, and what you saw was us cleaning up the nets because we done been out there and we've been trying all night, and we have caught nothing. We've caught nothing. I want to know if there's anybody right now been fishing and ain't catching nothing. I want to know, do you have your hook down in the water and you say, look, you're pulling it back and you said, there is bait on there, but I wonder why I ain't catching nothing. I wonder why I ain't catching nothing. Help me, Holy Spirit. So we find ourselves going through the process and we clean the nets with no results. And when you pull back the net and there's nothing, it's called empty. Empty. Remember, Christ also saw from the very beginning, he saw 2 empty boats. And then he finds these fishermen coming back saying the nets were empty. The nets were empty. Christ was a fisherman. He shows the first account of how he goes fishing. He begins to look at the situation. He recognizes two boats. He gets in one of the boats and he says, look, Simon, push me out. He goes out there. He performs what he needs to do. But he comes back. I need y'all to catch the depth of the story here, because when Christ now begins to deal with him, he goes fishing in a different method. Christ, to look for something by faith that is seen in a supernatural realm. Christ sees these fishermen. And he said, I'm on assignment because it's time for me to build my inner circle. So if I'm on assignment to build my inner circle, if these are the ones that I feel and I believe that are called for this purpose, then I've got to prepare them. Look at what he does. He gives an example that I could have stood right here on the seashore and gave this word, but it wouldn't have been as effective as I desired. Because my voice couldn't have carried. There's something about being behind the podium and lifted up. It seems like you should hear me just a little clearer, because my voice now gets to project a little higher above the people. If I'm down here and everyone is 7 feet standing in front of me, my voice now just bounces off of them and come right back to me. But if I now project, get a little higher, get into a boat, get out into a place where they can see me and hear me as they're all right there, now the word can be heard. Yes. He begins to preach the word. I want you to know, when in preaching this word, he had a responsibility. As much as he was Christ, he said, you know what? I must feed these fish. He began to set the first example in place with a large crowd. I recognize as I was looking at this, he deals and he goes past our expectations. Most of us are something on your job. Say, I'm something on my job.
I'm something.
Y'all got some kind of title. You know why? Let somebody step on your toe. Did you know I was the administrator? Did you know I'm the manager? Excuse me, I oversee this department. If you got a memo, make sure it comes up me first. Please follow protocol. Here we find Simon, now in a place, being a fisherman, being challenged now by a word that tells him to go fishing. He says, at thy word, I will let it down again. I'm out there, help me, Holy Spirit. I'm holding on to it. I am mad at this point because everyone said, just sit there. Sitting there waiting on results. But what I began to realize as I sat there, the string went bzzz, and when it went way out, all of a sudden they said, lock it, stop it. I'm like, click. Oh my goodness. All of a sudden, where I saw myself as a little boy on a ding, I'm listening. Tell me what to do. Somebody tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Don't you let that fishing rod go. You better hold on to it. And I'm holding on to it. I'm like, what am I doing? Come on. And I'm sweating, but you better bring it in. You better not lose that fish. And I'm pull it back. Oh my God. Now guess what? The boat is still moving.
That's right.
It's still moving. Process is still going on in your life while God is giving you a command. You've got to obey him as you go through the process. Most of us want to stop what we're doing and say, wait a minute, let me observe the situation. Listen, Simon Peter said, wait a minute, ask your word, I'm going to do it. I'm going to lower the net. He told me to go out into the deep, so I went out a little further, and I'm going to lower my net. And in lowering the net, guess what begins to happen? The fishing rod begins to spin. He let out a net. I let out a fishing rod. The rod began to go so far out. And they said, you got to bring it on in. And I'm telling y'all, I was tussling. I was fighting with that rod, and then somebody else saying this, and if you don't bring it in, it's going to be mine. See, something when God has something in store for you, and people begin to see the reward that God has laid up for you. And they're saying, God, if they won't go, I'll go. Or you see, that's what we say, Lord, I see what you're saying. If you're saying this word to me, if they don't take it, I will. Good God. That's why, look, see, any real honest people in the house, you say, Lord, just ask me. I'll do it. I'll do it. All you gotta do is just ask me. I'll do it. Because somehow, in believing this, you know that there's going to be better results. Listen to me. Simon had never took a command, no more than when Christ told him, push him out in the water. But now he challenges him in his profession. And he tells him now, launch out into the deep. Lower your nets. Lower them. And he lowers it. I'm telling y'all, the God heaven's true. I was fighting that rod so bad. And my arm, my muscles, y'all. My muscles. My muscles. Brother Will, my muscles, man. You better tell somebody. You better leave my word alone. Imagination. Look at here. I just knew that I was going to be able to perform this. And there's something about the obedience, all of a sudden, my muscles begin to pop out. Good God. Yes, they did. My six-pack came together. Yes, sir. So here I am. I'm like, all right now. I'm pushing and I'm turning. Sweating bullets. Listen, I'm like, I'm going to get this fish. As the boat keeps moving, it looks like it's getting further, but God knows it's coming closer. See, there's something about obeying the voice of the Lord. When you're going through the process of things, it seems like ain't nothing changed yet. Nothing. See, once you obey, that is the fertile ground that begins to cause things to come into existence. See, most of us just want the miracle.
Right.
See, the miracle comes if he just gives you the miracle and you don't go through the process of now developing how to stay in this place. He'll have to keep giving you a miracle for you to obey. Because all you want are the results.